Hi, I'm Roland Leggat from Insight Australia, and today I want to talk to you about Power Automate. Now, Power Automate may sound like a new tool within Office 365, but in reality, it's Windows Workflow Foundations, WWF. Sounds like some weird wrestling thing, but it's actually around automating processes. Microsoft have rebranded workflows to Power Automate. So, whether it's an approval for a document that needs to go through a serial or a parallel approval process, I create a document, I initiate a Power Automate that will send an email to the approvers who can then go and review the document and give the final sign-off on the document. Or it could be a Power Automate that is looking at our corporate Twitter account and searching for keywords that may indicate dissatisfaction with our organization, and then automating a response to those keywords and those individuals who posted or made a tweet regarding our organization. Loads of templates within Power Automate. If you want to do something in Power Automate, chances are somebody else in the world has wanted to do it already. So there's going to be a basis or a template on which you can start building. You don't have to build from scratch. Over and above that, there are loads of connectors and APIs to connect to other applications out in the cloud where I can pull information into Power Automate and interrogate that information, allowing me to streamline an otherwise mundane or boring process. Let's check out Power Automate because this is an incredibly powerful tool, and automation is the way of the future. So here we are in Power Automate. Now, Power Automate, or some variation of it, has been around for a while. It's essentially a workflow. It used to be called Power Flow, but it's based on Windows Workflow Foundations, and it allows us to do more with less by streamlining repetitive tasks and business processes, increasing efficiency and decreasing frustration. So there's a lot of templates available to us. If you want to do something, chances are someone else in the world has wanted to do it before. We can use approvals, we can create new flows. I can look at what flows I've got already. And from here, I could go through and I could create a new flow from a template, build my own from scratch, a desktop flow, or there's even an AI engine, which is new, which helps us build a flow based on what you want to do. So for example, send me a message in Teams every time a new file is added to SharePoint, okay? And we'll say send a reminder email, and it'll say multiple actions. Yes, this is what I want. And we can go through and say, yep, that's what I want next. And it'll continue to go through and create our flow. It checks our permissions to make sure we've got permissions to everything we want on the back end, because what we can do is we can automate this with third-party systems. Like you could say, when a new lead is created in Salesforce, send me an email, put a task in my planner. So, start an approval process. We can go through a whole approval process, follow up a message. Somebody created a tweet that may have a positive or negative response, and we can automatically reply to that. This is often handy for the marketing team. Notify a team when a task changes within Planner. So we can go through, look at our different connections. We can go through and choose to edit this particular flow. We've got things like a flow checker and a test. So when a task is completed, and I'll put here, it's a Mark 8 project team, and in there I can select the different parts in that team, and I've got event planned. Then we can go through and say, what do we want to do? And we can even go through and add new steps. So this is a low code, no code way because this is all done by a template. It's a low-code, no-code way of creating flows. So, I mean, if I go in here and I say, start my flow from a template, okay? And in here we can look for different things. So you might say, well, I want to follow up on a particular message in Teams, start an approval process in SharePoint. You could use Planner, Power BI. Look at, say, run sentiment analysis on tweets, send an email when new tweets are posted. So if we're looking for a tweet containing a certain word, then I've got to go and sign into Twitter. Okay, so within Power Automate, it's really incredible what we have the ability to do and what we can create. So for example, I created a Power Automate for some people that had to update an Excel spreadsheet. It was a school thing, and they had to update an Excel spreadsheet with emergency contact details. And we created a form, and the form then led to a Power Automate that added the information into a spreadsheet. So we could go and say, right, I want to start here. What are we looking for? And we are looking for Microsoft Forms, and it'll give us a bunch of templates from Microsoft Forms. And literally there are thousands of templates available to us. So you could say, create an item in SharePoint from Google Sheets, notify me when a channel has submitted a form, use Microsoft Forms to schedule something in Yammer. We can see the Salesforce integration. Okay, notify me when a form has been submitted. And it's an incredibly powerful tool, Power Automate, which allows us to go through and automate so many of our processes. I can view approvals. We use this a lot with Adobe. I can look at my flows. I can look at connectors. Where am I getting data from? We can monitor flows. We can use an AI builder to build flows. There's lots of training on how to do this and how to make sure that your flows are working correctly. But if you have got repetitive tasks that you've got to do, Power Automate. So now you know how to create a Power Automate either from a template or from a blank sheet. Get into it. Start automating those boring, mundane processes, the things that make your job hard to do. Okay, there's still fun things in your job, but those repetitive processes, let's see how we can automate them and share your Power Automates with other people in your organization who may be able to enhance their productivity through your smarts. Thank you very much, and streamline your day.